If you've been concerned about your liver health and maybe fatty liver, I have 5 natural tips to help with that fatty liver. Okay, first let's talk a little bit about the common signs and symptoms of having a fatty liver. Now, the funny thing about this is that, well, it's not so funny, is the fact that maybe you have no symptoms whatsoever, and yet some of your blood work and the testing that your doctor has done is indicating that you may have a fatty liver. You also may suffer with low energy. You could have right upper quadrant pain. This is where your liver sits. Your stools could have changed as well. So having a lighter colored stool and a stool that's floating may be an indication of a fatty liver, because again, those fats in your diet aren't being properly emulsified, and that's why the poop is actually floating. You may also be craving sweets with a fatty liver, and maybe you're having difficulty with your metabolism, so you're having difficulty getting that weight off and suffering with being overweight. Now, some of the most common causes of a fatty liver sometimes is what is seemingly a healthy diet. So if you're eating a lot of fruits, especially high in fructose, or even worse, could be a lot of fruit juice high in that fructose, and it has a different metabolism compared to other dietary intakes of different foods, that fructose goes directly to the liver and can really be a causative factor for fatty liver. Also, leptin resistance in the liver can be a cause for that fatty liver. So I've got other videos on what leptin resistance is. You can definitely check those out to learn more about that leptin resistance and, more importantly, what to do about it. As well as toxic overload in the body. So we know that we're exposed to a lot of toxins on a daily basis, and that can be related to fatty liver as well. Lack of sunlight exposure, very much related to fatty liver. That ties into the leptin resistance as well, and not building enough melanin on your skin in terms of our gut clocks and our body clocks and our liver clocks and our brain, the master brain clock in the SCN, and what's happening in nature with the light and dark cycles of the day can translate into fatty liver problems. As well as suffering with a DHA deficiency, so you're simply not getting enough DHA in your diet, that can also be a cause for fatty liver. But more importantly, here are 5 natural tips what you can do for that fatty liver naturally. Okay, number 1 is getting more sunlight exposure. I mean, it makes sense that, definitely, and what the research shows that yes, vitamin D is a big aspect of this as well with fatty liver. And in this study, it was found that UV radiation helps to make nitric oxide and HO1, which helps to suppress liver inflammation. And we know that that chronic natural skin exposure to UV radiation from the sun can help to halt the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, as we can see. Okay, tip number 2 for fatty liver is to get more DHA. So that important omega-3 fatty acid found in fish and seafood. Lamb also has some DHA, macadamia nuts as well. In this study, it was found that DHA supplementation improved liver steatosis and insulin sensitivity in children who had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So just making sure that you're getting enough and you need it daily really does help with that fatty liver. Okay, tip number 3 is to consider some herbal medicines that help with that full body detox. One of my favorite ones, especially for fatty liver, is milk thistle, and it's known to help to not only detoxify your liver cells, but also helps to regenerate healthy liver cells. Number 4 on my list for fatty liver is turmeric and that active component curcumin. Now, in this study, it was found that turmeric supplementation improves serum glucose indices and leptin levels in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And when you're looking for a good high-quality curcumin and turmeric supplement, make sure that it has a 95 percentile of those active components, those curcuminoids, and make sure there's no heavy metals. Make sure that there's also no fillers in there, so no magnesium stearate, and make sure that it's actually been tested for the heavy metals. It is a known fact that in some countries they actually add lead to help to pigment that turmeric to make it look that nice bright orangey yellow type of color. So you've really got to be aware of where you're purchasing your turmeric and curcumin supplements. And tip number 5 for fatty liver is to make sure that you're cleaning up your diet. So including more liver-friendly foods is definitely something you can do. Things like dark green leafy vegetables, amazing, as well as squeezing some fresh lemon juice into your water, great, and your liver absolutely loves these types of foods. Now, I did talk a little bit about that lead being in those turmeric and curcumin supplements. I want you to learn more about that. So I actually have a video about that. Warning, your turmeric may contain this. Check it out.